Good morning. Welcome back to Sports and Entertainment with Matthew. Hot takes with the other guy. So, talking about some NCAA Week 4 previews. Let's talk about it real quick. Michigan versus Nebraska. Freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood versus Big Hype. Underwood is getting early praises. Nebraska has been putting up points. Can Michigan defense slow down a hot passing offense in a rivalry atmosphere? 2. Texas Tech at Utah. Big 12 tensions and first big conference test. Both are 3-0 entering today. But Utah's home field and defense tendencies versus Tech's explosive offense makes this a real test. Miami versus Florida. Rivalry, momentum, and unrevealing stats. Miami is looking to provide their playoff material. Florida has been shaky. This in-state grudge match could reveal in Florida is more in rebuild mode or just underperforming. Illinois versus Indiana, Big Ten jockeying up for respect. Both teams want to build a legacy. Indiana's offense in line versus Illinois' defensive pressure could swing cover lines. Upset potential in this one. SMU versus TCU, Iron Skillet Finals. Rivalry pride. Rivalry games always bring out surprises. SMU has playmakers. TCU has been steady. The Iron Skillet legacy adds stakes. High scoring forecast. 5 hot takes. Take Underwood and Michigan to cover versus Nebraska. Freshmen usually hit or miss, but Underwood has been better than most suspected. Michigan wins, but it's closer than people think. Florida keeps it surprisingly close. Miami might win, but Florida covers. Expect a defensive adjustment despite their early woes. Texas Tech shocks Utah. Tech's offense picks up tempo and exposes Utah's secondary. Could pull off a road cover. Indiana pulls off the upset versus Illinois. Hoosiers' ground game and coaching makes this a sneaky pick. SMU gets over a shutout with TCU. If SMU's wide receivers and running backs get going early, they can keep up in a wild duel, maybe even win. 5 locks. You got Michigan over Nebraska. Michigan money line, home favorite in Underwood momentum. USC to cover versus Michigan State. USC minus 17.5. Over total points in Oregon versus Oregon State, over 57.5. Miami over Florida. Miami money line takes care of business. Utah over Texas Tech, covering the spread at home. 6 underdogs to watch. Nebraska versus Michigan, underdog status, but offense is legit. Illinois versus Indiana. As road underdogs, chance to pull one. Tulsa versus Oklahoma State. Oh, that's already over. NC State versus Duke. Duke's defense weak. Wolfpack might still. Rutgers versus Iowa. Iowa has been underwhelming. Rutgers could make noise. Syracuse versus Clemson. Big spread, but maybe too big. Syracuse could cover. Players, parlay ideals. Bryce Underwood over passing yards plus maybe a rushing touchdown. Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma Auburn, anytime touchdown or passing yard prop. Miami's quarterback, assuming their starters, over passing yards. Running back for Indiana or Illinois over rushing yards or any touchdown. Wide receiver from SMU or TCU over receiving yards or any touchdown. Example, 3-leg parlay. Michigan money line over 57.5 in Oregon versus Oregon State. Underwood over 200 passing yards plus rushing touchdown. Lock parlay. Utah versus Texas Tech under 57.5 points. Notre Dame minus 27.5 versus Purdue. Michigan minus 2.5 versus Nebraska. Illinois plus 4.5 versus Indiana. And then Prop would be Miami, Florida, quarterback over passing yards and touchdown pass anytime. And then great 3-leg parlay would be Michigan money line versus Nebraska, Miami, Florida money line versus Florida, over 57.5, and Oregon versus Oregon State. If you would through DraftKings, would be about, if you $20 bet would give you about between $60 and $80 for this roughly. So this is everything. Hot takes. Watching Sports and Entertainment with Matthew. Have a great weekend. Bet responsible. I'm not saying these will hit. I'm just giving my ideals. So do not sue me, please. If you get these wrong, I'm just throwing ideals out there. Thank you.